This is my voice 1 week into Miata ownership. I guess this is how I dress now that I own a Miata, but that is not what this video is about. I am judging more of your guys' cars that you have sent into me. If you'll notice down at the bottom of the screen, that is an email that you can send me. Send me pictures, videos, and a story about your car, and I will feature it in an upcoming video like this. So a couple rules with that. First of all, email that email and only that email. Do not DM me on Instagram. Do not send me a Facebook message. Don't write me a letter and strap it to a pigeon. I will not go through it because I go through the email as they come in. Second of all, if you do not see your car in this video, but you've already sent me an email, do not fret. It will be in an upcoming video. Third of all, on this YouTube channel, I do car reviews. It's a big majority of this YouTube channel is car reviews. If I can review your car that you are sending me, then put that in the email. Say, hey, I would be open to you doing the review. And if you do say that, please leave some description of the vehicle as well as your location. I write every single number and information down into a book, so when I'm ready to do reviews again, I can go through my book and see who's in what area. Even if you're in Nebraska, even if you're in Idaho, I might be out there at some point in my life, and I'd love to film your car. So with that being said, I have my trusty dusty laptop. Let's get into more of your guys' messages. So this first one is from Kenneth. He says, hello, this is my dad's Honda Accord V6 Coupe with the Honda Factory Performance Package. Even though it's not a manual, it's still a lot of fun. I'd love for you to review the car, but since I live in Puerto Rico, I don't think that's possible. So I've always wanted to go to Puerto Rico, huge rotary scene there. And actually, I have a friend who has family in Puerto Rico, and we've been tossing around the idea of a trip to Puerto Rico, so I wouldn't put that completely out of the cards. I like these V6 Accord coupes. I think they look great. This one definitely looks very clean. It looks well done. I like the sport package. And overall, I have to say, you know, these are fun little cars. I'm not the biggest coupe fan. I would prefer sedans, but not too bad. Next is from Justin. He says, hey man, this is my 1999 Daewoo Nubria CDX hatchback I just recently got. First manual car, and I love it. Please keep up the great videos. This is interesting. Daewoos, to me, I have no idea about Daewoos. I started to do some research. I thought that they were rebadged Hyundais. Turns out that they had ties to like GM and stuff. They were their own thing. Daewoo apparently made a bunch of other things that aren't car related. They just happened to also make a couple cars. Through the very small research that I did do. Very, very interesting. I would love to film a Daewoo just because I've never even been in one or seen many of them. I've seen a handful around. And actually, I did see this email before making this video, and before I bought the Miata, I actually was just kind of looking at Daewoos because it'd be cool to own a Daewoo. So this is really, really cool, and I don't know anything about Daewoos, and I would love to learn. Next up is Wesley. He says, hey, shooting cars, I have a right-hand drive MR2 turbo with a 4th gen motor. It'd be awesome to see rated or potentially a review. Everything is bone stock minus coilovers. Soon to come is a side mount intercooler, front lip, head unit, and obviously the motor. The body has 130,000 kilometers on it, and the motor is about the same. I also have a right-hand drive 2008 Jeep Wrangler with Rubicon suspension. This is my information. Yes, I should be in your area at some point, hopefully this year. We'll have to see how this whole virus thing plays out. But this is very, very cool. First of all, I love the MR2. Absolutely love that. I think it's great. I love this chassis of MR2. The SW20s are a lot of fun, and right-hand drive is really special. Now, I'm a little bit more interested in the right-hand drive Jeep with Rubicon suspension. First of all, because it's a 2008 and right-hand drive, and everything else I've ever driven right-hand drive has been 25 years old because it had to be imported. Now, these Jeeps were imported. I would assume this is for a rural post office. That's what these Jeeps were originally imported for, and you could actually buy a 2020 Jeep in right-hand drive. I believe you have to have like a permit from the state, and you have to be a rural post office, and you could buy a right-hand drive Jeep because they're used as the Jeep vehicles, and they can get through the snow in a rural area and things like that. So I would really, really be interested in that Jeep for sure, as well as the MR2. I think the MR2 is really cool, and obviously you like right-hand drive things, which is just super fun. This one is from Cody. He says, here's the slab. Bagged '01 Forester, STI subframe, Raceland bag, short shifter, airlift 3P, Canesy, not sure if I'm saying that, wheels, basic-ish, just recently got it repainted, and the whole thing. I love these first-gen Foresters. I wanted one for a very long time. I personally am not a fan of bags. Well, if you're going to do anything, do bags, because you can actually drive the car pretty regularly. Besides that, I know people say static for life, and those people eat crayons for breakfast because bags are just the smarter way to go if you can afford it. I just think it makes the car look super cool standing still and doesn't take down the functionality. I love these Foresters. They will always hold a special place in my heart. Next up is from CDF Photography, and he just said, car judging entry, a 1984 50th anniversary edition and a 1985 NA300ZX, both stock AF. These are beautiful. I do obviously have experience with Z31s through my friend Garrett. He has a turboed NA, so it was an NA chassis that was turboed by a previous owner. I love this. The 50th anniversary looks great, and of course the NA looks great. I wish this guy sent, or girl, sent the dashboard, because I hope one or both of these have the digital dashboard, because the digital dashboard from the 300ZX, the Z31, is probably the best dashboard I've ever seen in my whole life, and unfortunately I don't have experience reviewing one. And I would love to get my hands on something like that, because that is just, they came with the best dashboards probably ever made ever. So thank you, CDF Photography, for that. This one is from Mac. He said, hey mate, howdy. Here's my 1988 FC in Australia. I bought it as an abandoned project and worked on getting the thing back on the road. Had it about 2 years and now is my daily. Fresh open door respray in Mazda RX-8 winning blue in January and hoping to 6-port turbo by the end of the year. And his Instagram is at Mac, M-A-C-K, _ FC3S. And he sent a huge parts list here. I mean, just amazing parts list. And they all look pretty good, at least from the things that I can tell. Also, I have to say, I am a fan of using an RX-8 color. I think that's absolutely great. I love like OEM Plus stuff, or using new colors on old cars that are of the same brand and sort of same ideals. Not like I don't think you should put Soul Red Metallic on like a 55 Chevy. Well, that might work, actually. But, like, you get my point. I think this thing looks really cool. And, of course, I love seeing a Rust to Riches sort of restore on an FC. Now, my question is, I'm looking at this FC. The before pictures, I'm wondering what's on the rear bumper. I can't quite tell what that is. Kind of interesting there. I don't actually mind. Oh, wait. Oh, you got rid of the fender flares. I love the front fenders. Those definitely are not factory. I love those. I think they look absolutely great. So thank you, Mac, for sending in your FC. So this one is from Paul. He said, I'm really late to this, but I hope you see it. This is my 87 RX-7 FC GXL with an S5 13B turbo and 750cc injectors, Microtech LT9C ECU, and Racing Beat exhaust. This is my first car I drove to high school and is my daily because I like doing life the hard yet interesting way. This car has been in the hands of 3 different owners, with all of them, myself included, using it as a daily driver. I hope that slowly I can turn it into a purebred track car as graduation from its lifelong history as a daily. I started the 13B turbo swap 1 year ago, almost to the day, and it is the sole reason why I know so much about the cars as I do. The setup for the motor isn't the best work I've ever done. Some compromises had to be made, and I will make do with them, but it runs cool, calm, and collected, even in the summer heat in Florida. So this is a clean FC. Really interesting that it's been a daily driver through its whole life. You usually don't see that. You'll see like one grandma who daily drove her FC forever and ever, but it's rare that 3 owners daily drive something like this. It looks like you've done a really nice job. A turbo 2-swap, great in an NA car, and I love it. I really, really do. I think it's really clean and simple, and I wish you best of luck. I hope you can get out on track because it is an absolute blast. So this one is from Alice. They say, "Hi, Zach. I don't know if you'll ever come to Europe, but in case, I figured I might as well share some pics of my car. I'm Alice. I own 2 Peugeot 205s and planning on getting more and more. The gray one is called Princessy, and the blue-green, see it as you want, is called Toto." So this is really, really interesting because I have no information on Peugeots. That's the thing, is that I don't know really anything about Peugeots at all. And definitely if I'm ever in the area, I will message you and I'll be saving your information because these are really, really cool to me. And you've obviously seem like you're a collector, and these will be a part of your life forever. And I really, really, I admire that in a person. And it's really cool that, you know, you have 2 of them, which is just really, really cool. It's also interesting, a 1.7 liter. It's just such an odd displacement. Normally, I feel like places either round up to like a 1.8 or down to around 1.6, but really, really cool. And I do appreciate all the pictures and video. And like I said, I'll be saving your info for a future video. If I'm ever, when I do go over to Europe, you will be contacted. So Alice, I appreciate your message about your Peugeots. All right, so this one is from another Zach. He says, "My name is Zach Clappy Pappy on Instagram, CLAPPYPAPPY on Instagram, and I have a 2002 GMC Sierra 4.8-liter V8 two-wheel drive. Has 134,000 miles on it, has a 3-inch front lift, and has a 2-inch rear drop with a 3-inch rough country lift spindles and 2-inch drop shackles. Has a very loud exhaust setup with dual pipes, no cats, and no muffler. Soon to be true duals next week. I wish I could have attached the exhaust clips, but you can find them on my Instagram. I love your channel. I'm a huge rotary fan, even though I have the opposite of one. I've had this truck for almost a year now, and I've made memories with it and hope it gets showed on your channel." So when you said that you had a 3-inch lift in the front and 2-inch drop in the back, I thought it would be way more dramatic. And I'm glad it's not. I don't understand those like Cali lean trucks where they like slam the rear end and then lift the front end. What are you gonna put in the back? Anything you put in the back is just gonna roll around. It's gonna be bad. It's never gonna be good. So I do like this thing. It's pretty clean and simple. I like it. No rust on the rockers that I'm seeing, which is huge for these trucks. I'm wondering if your gauge cluster is still working fine, as we discovered in previous episodes of the show. Yeah, it's a nice, clean, simple truck, and that's actually my first vehicle was a truck. That's the first vehicle I ever got. And that's the truck, or that's the vehicle that showed me how fun driving was, and cruising late at night and driving people around and sharing laughs and listening to music was all done in a white first or second gen Dodge Ram. And so I understand that. Everyone's got to start somewhere. And I hope that you find your way into a rotary someday. I really, really do. Next up is from Joshua. He says, "Hey, Zach, big fan of your car reviews. Just want to share some photos of my 1985 Mercedes-Benz 240D. A slow boy." That's not him saying it. That's me saying that. I'll explain in a second. It has just over 236,000 kilometers, 146,000 miles now, and it's all original and unrestored with a 4-speed manual and rides like Cloud 9. It's painted in the original diamond blue metallic, which I believe might be the same color as the 300D turbo diesel that you reviewed way back. I purchased this car right before graduating out of college in February and sent it out for a full rust repair shortly after. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to drive it for about 3 months due to the extended lockdown here in the Philippines. That is very interesting. Future plans, once things start to settle down, is just keeping it as pristine and original as possible, since W123s in good condition are pretty rare to find these days. It's definitely not a performer. In fact, it's an absolute dog off the line. But in horrible traffic jams and potholed streets, it's absolutely perfect. Plus, it just looks the part. Anyhow, I really appreciate these car reviews, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of your videos. Cheers, Josh. First of all, it's really cool that you're sending me a message from the Philippines. It's just very rare. These things, I drove a 300D, a 1984 300D, which is the 5-cylinder diesel. This is the 4-cylinder diesel he has. The 5-cylinder diesel I drove was so slow, so ridiculously slow. So I can't imagine you chop off one more cylinder, how slow this thing must be. However, I love these cars. I love these Mercedes. I love the look of them. They just have this road presence. The doors. Josh, go out into your garage right now after seeing this and shut the door on your car. It's magnificent. It's solid. It clicks into place. I love it. I love the color, and I love the badge, like the badges people put in the grills. No one does that anymore. I really, really love that. I really do like these cars. I would love one of these. I personally would probably like throw some type of V8 into it just so it's not such a dog, but it's still smooth. These cars are elegant, and they're absolutely beautiful. And it's really cool to get a message from the Philippines. That always warms my heart, knowing that my videos make it outside of my own little bubble. This one is from Adam. He says, "Hi, my name is Adam. I'm 16 years old, and I drive a 2010 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. I'm down for you to review the car in a video as long as it happens after quarantine. I live in an area kind of near me, and I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel about the car, and we'll be modding it in the near future with a 76 millimeter turbo getting thrown on." I do like these Panther platforms. This thing looks really, really clean for a police interceptor because these things get beat up. The police interceptors are used, abused. You know, they're ran hot and put away wet. What's the saying? Whatever. This thing looks really clean, and just have fun with it. Panther platforms are really, really reliable. Rear wheel drive will be fun in the snow. You're 16, so you're probably gonna crash it, because every 16-year-old crashes a vehicle. If you're into cars and you're 16, you're going to crash something. I crashed. All my friends crashed. We all crash. Just try not to crash too big, especially with a 76 millimeter turbo if you end up going that way. Yeah, I'll be writing down your information, and we'll set something up for sure. This one is from Lachlan, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Lachlan. He says, "Hello from the UK. Attached, you will see some pictures of the Volkswagen bus known as the camper van in the UK. That was my dad's. As you can see, it has been graffitied in the two things my dad likes the most, the sea and the mountains, which was done for charity at an event. Sorry for the old pictures, but she's sad looking now, and we are attempting to return her to her former glory." Like I said in previous videos, I love these camper vans. I think I'm not alone in saying that. They have a cult following. They are loved by everyone. And I'd love to find... I haven't gotten my hands on one yet. I'd absolutely love to do that. This thing looks really, really cool. I love the design of it because everyone does the solid color thing. Everyone does that. I like that this is sort of a moving art piece because that's what the Volkswagen buses were in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Volkswagen buses were moving art pieces, and now everyone's trying to restore them to make them look like they came off the factory line, which is cool. I love that. That's great too. But I love also these moving art pieces because this is actually what they were. It's what they were, which is just really, really cool to see. I absolutely love it. And the fact that it's your dad's and you're working on it, I think is a beautiful story as well. So thank you very much from the UK. This one is from Evan. He said, "Hi, Zach. I started watching your channel back in 2018 when I bought my first car, an FB RX-7. Your Road Life series showed me how to modify that car and pretty much introduced me to the automotive scene. I've been through a couple of cars since selling the FB, but most recently I picked up a bone stock 92 NA6 Miata. I couldn't believe it when you revealed your newest car, and it turned out to be a Miata. Can't wait to learn more from your videos. Keep up the good work. Evan," and his Instagram handle is Evan EJ20, so EVANEJ20. Really, really interesting stuff here. First, he sent the FB, of course. Good cream color. I like the thick pinstripe down the side. That's something I haven't seen on an FB, and he's running FC wheels, so I would assume this was either... Did he say it's a GSLSE? This was either a GSLSE or has GSLSE suspension swapped onto it in order to run the FC bottle caps from the second gen. And I like he has the number in the window. What I can only assume is from a Mazda dealer. He took it in for maintenance because I had that same one on my FB. Really, really cool. Next, he sent a Subaru, which if you don't know, Saab and Subaru had a collaborative car. I forget. I think this is the 9.5 wagon. something like that. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. I haven't filmed one of these, and actually, everyone always forgets about this. Jim and Pam from The Office drove one of these in the show for a very long time, and no one ever picks up on that. I just thought that that's a really weird choice to give him a Subaru in the show. But anyway, and then last, of course, the 92 NA Miata. My heart's been captured by Miatas, and so this just warms my heart to see. I love the 1.6. It's a fun little car. Next up, this is from Paul, and this will be our final one for the episode. He said, "Hey, Zach, been subscribed to your channel for a while now, and I thought I'd send it in my car for you to judge. I've had this 89 Chrysler Conquest for about 2 years now. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to buy it because it's exactly what I wanted, a boxy 80s rear-wheel drive 5-speed turbo car. I bought it from the original owner after it had sat for 9 years. I'm 16, and I've been slowly buying parts to fix it myself, so I've replaced most of the wear items, including the clutch, rotors, pads, struts, and a lot more. Parts are sometimes super hard to find for these cars. It took me a year to find the rear struts. In terms of plans for the car, my goal is to just keep it bone stock and drive it in the summer. Hope you're doing well, and thanks for the great content, Paul." This is really interesting. Again, this is a car that I don't have any real experience with. I would love to film this. If you're okay with that, Paul, shoot me another message after seeing this. I would love to be able to film something like this. It's so quirky and weird, and Mitsubishi and Chrysler, this is really the start of Diamond Star Motors, which we ended up getting the Eclipse from. DSMs were huge in the 90s and early 2000s. And so it's really cool that this is sort of the genesis of that. Also, I love that you have an SA in the background, unlimited edition SA wheels, and there's another picture here with a MG, it looks like. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I think these cars are super unique, and I love the fact that you're keeping the car stock. I absolutely love that fact, because actually, I haven't really revealed this in any video, but one of the reasons I got my Miata now is because I wanted to just experience a stock Miata. I'm not going to do anything to my Miata. I just wanted to know why it's a cult classic. And so I love the fact that you're doing that as well, and I think you're going to know more about that vehicle than anyone who modifies it, because you'll know how it feels from the factory. It's just, overall, it's just great. So really, really thank you, Paul, for sending that in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of me judging your cars. Like I said, if you'd like to email me your vehicle, please use the email down here at the bottom. If I can review your car, please leave that in the email as well. I would love to drive out to every one of your guys' homes and film your cars, because I think all of these cars are really, really cool. And you guys have been sending great stuff. I love seeing RX-7 stuff, I really do. But seeing all the weird, quirky stuff that you drive, like the Peugeot and this, is really, really cool to see. And I love just how many nooks and crannies my videos have made it out to in the world. From the Philippines to New Jersey. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to send your video or car or picture or whatever you want, send it to that email down below. And I'll see you guys in the next judging video. Take care.